This week's experiment will involve acid-base titrations. We will be generating 4 different acid-base titration curves and then gather some information from the curves. For each curve, we will determine the titration type, such as strong acid versus strong base. We will determine the pH at each equivalence point, and for the titrations involving weak acids or bases, we will determine the pKa values. Here's the setup. A drop counter will be used to record the pH of the solution as each drop of titrant is added from the burette. The program will take the total drops of titrants and the total volume as measured from the burette containing the titrants to calculate the average drop volume. This can be used to convert drops to volume of titrant and ultimately prepare the titration curve. In order to get more data points, which is particularly important around the equivalence point where pH is changing rapidly, a micropipette tip will be placed over the burette tip. In the experiment, the pH electrode must be calibrated at 2 different pH values to assure accurate readings over a wide pH range. A solution of hydrochloric acid or sodium hydroxide will be used as the titrant, depending on whether the solution to be titrant, which is also known as the analyte, is an acid or a base. There will be 4 unknown analytes labeled A through D. 20 milliliters of the unknown will be transferred into a beaker containing a stir bar. The appropriate titrant will be positioned over the drop counter and the micropipette tip placed over the tip of the burette. The initial volume of the titrant in the burette is recorded, and the titrant is dripped into the reaction solution, making sure that the drops go through the slot on the drop counter. The workstation will display a plot of pH versus drops of titrant, so the equivalence point will be easily seen. After the titration is complete, the final burette reading is recorded so that the MeasureNet controller can convert drops of titrants into milliliters of titrant. Now, go watch the experiment video.